LAX, a major security breach as a wild chase goes across runways.
Pat, this was something else. Sources tell CBS 2 News this might be the worst security breach at a U.S. airport in a decade. Behind me, you can see LAX crews are right at it, getting right to it, putting up a new fence. They also moved into place those K-rails to try and prevent anyone else from getting in there as they try to repair the fence. Police say the reported driver, is under arrest, and thankfully no one was hurt. The video is stunning, an LA pursuit like none other. This one at high speeds across two of the busiest runways in the world. A gray Mazda leading police around the tarmac on an unauthorized and dangerous path, at times just feet away from a line of massive cargo planes. Police say at around 6 o'clock, the driver turned off Imperial Highway on the south side of the airport and headed straight for the gate at the FedEx warehouse. This is the spot where police say he crashed through and crushed a chain link fence leading to a busy loading and unloading area. After knocking down the gate, he sped past a line of FedEx jumbo jets parked on the tarmac. Sources say the driver then drove across runways 25 left and 25 right, the major runways on the south side of the airport, did a U-turn and crossed them again. On busy days, one plane takes off or lands on these runways every minute. Luckily, he did not collide with any. Airport police chased him to Atlantic Aviation, a private terminal for charter planes, and arrested him, surrounding the suspect and his hatchback with more than a dozen police cars. It all ended feet from Atlantic's lobby. Passengers inside had a front row seat to a shocking security breach, and LAXPD's swift response, easily able to see the car and an SOS message written on its hood. The airport immediately closed both runways to all planes until they could inspect them, as LAXPD launched an investigation into what led the driver onto the tarmac.
But first, we're following breaking news, a flight emergency at LAX as a man tries to get into the cockpit and then opens the door and jumps off the plane.
Colleen and Chuck, remember, this is the second night in a row there's been a security breach on LAX runways. The FBI confirming just minutes ago this was a passenger who got up from his seat. That passenger turned jumper, now in custody and in the hospital.
It's not what you want to see, but twice in 2 nights, law enforcement on the tarmac of LAX. United Express Flight 5365, operated by SkyWest, destined for Salt Lake City, forced to return to the gate. The investigative unit of NBC News has learned as the plane left the gate just after 7 o'clock tonight, a man started banging on the cockpit door that's locked from inside. People on board tried to stop him, but he jumped from the service door of the twin-engine Embracer 175. This picture of a door from another plane of the same make. The FAA confirms he exited the plane using the emergency slide that is automatically activated when the door opens. He didn't get far. Injured, authorities grabbed him right there on the taxiway. And yesterday, it was a driver who broke through a fence and onto the LAX airfield. Police chasing the car across the tarmac before finally detaining the driver. The unfolding scene forcing some runways to close. Tonight's incident apparently not creating any delays at LAX.
Major confusion at LAX this morning when 2 terminals had to be evacuated after airport police found a suspicious bag that was left in the ticketing area.
It was already shaping up to be one of the busiest days at LAX since the beginning of the pandemic. And then this happened. The entire upper level of the airport closed to traffic, all of Terminal 2 and parts of Terminal 1 evacuated. Airport police had found an unattended bag in the ticketing area, and their canines sensed something suspicious. People were forced to wait outside with their bags as the LAPD bomb squad investigated.
Are the doors closed? I don't know. I'm just really confused.
Many passengers were confused and worried about whether they would make their flights.
Our plane is supposed to be taking off in 30 minutes.
Eventually, police determined the bag was safe and they cleared the area, but it wasn't easy getting everyone checked in after that.
I don't even know if you can call this a line anymore. It's like a cluster of people. Very overwhelming, but I'm confident we're going to make it through.
Many passengers were staying optimistic, trying to make the best of the situation.
Right now, we're having fun, just enjoying the breeze and just waiting.
Some say although this particular delay was unexpected, traveling for a holiday is always a headache.
Obviously, there's always going to be, something that goes wrong in big holiday weekends like this. So you just kind of take it as it comes and get in line.
Because after all, a year ago, a 4th of July getaway wasn't an option. So if this year's celebrations take a bit longer to get going, that's okay.
I get a day off of work, so hey, I'm not regretting anything.
You'll get there eventually.
I'll get there eventually.
Right now, you don't see a single car here through the loop, and that is stretching down again to Terminal 2, where they are evacuating passengers there. They're closing the roadway for departure levels and redirecting passengers to the arriving lower levels for people that are getting dropped off here at LAX. And I do have a passenger that just came out. What's your name?
I am Justine.
Justine, what is it like seeing the loop here like this? This is very unusual.
It's kind of spooky. I'm very much like a ghost town. I mean, LAX is always bubbly, full of traffic and passengers, and no one.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for more information. Thank you, Justine. But this is going to create a nightmare. We had already been talking about Friday being one of the busiest travel days for the 4th of July. Imagine those people who are now stuck getting into the airport, Michaela, and they might be stuck for some time now. So it's still closed right now. We're waiting for more information, but a developing situation here at LAX on a day that we should not be seeing this.
Now, airports across the U.S. were packed on Friday as travelers took to the skies for the holiday weekend. Crowds and delays were expected, but a security scare at LAX compounded those issues.